Hey, Rise Builders, it's D again. So I want to talk, about sticking with God. Stick with God, because He ain't gonna leave you. When I think about my past, growing up, even just some years ago, it doesn't have to be anything too old. We can all think back on bad decisions, crazy talk, crazy ways, things that we have done that we're just not so proud of. You had those moments that you're not proud of. You just really act up. You just acted really crazy. And you're like, when you look back at it, you're like, what was I going through? But you know what? We're human. So you just have to show yourself some grace. And that's why it's so important for people to know, yes, you're saved now, but there were times where you did things that were off course. Even in our salvation, we're not perfect. We're still not perfect people. But people need to understand that you're not walking around and you got some kind of, that you're exempt from mistakes. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. We are not exempt from mistakes, but we do strive to be better people day by day. We do strive to treat people and show people love. That's the goal is to be better than what I was the day before. I'm striving to be like Christ. I will never be perfect, but that's my goal I set before me. I need to be a better person than I was the day before. I need to be checking myself. And that's why I say stick with God. God is not going to leave you. Your friends will get tired of you and that crazy talk. Sometimes people be like, I need a break from her. I need a break from him. He went too far. He went too far with what he said. That was just not justifiable with what he said or his actions. But the loving thing about God is he never leaves us. He never gets tired of us. We are his children, and he treats us as such. Psalms 103:8 NIV says, "The Lord is compassionate and gracious, my Lord, slow to anger, abounding in love." God's patience and love go far beyond what we deserve. We don't deserve it. You know good and well, you don't deserve what you have. You don't deserve where you live. You don't deserve your job. You don't deserve that beautiful family you have. We just don't. We don't. Because we have done things to people and said some things to people that disqualified us. And God did what? Showed us grace. He showed us grace. He gave us mercy. And we need to thank him daily for that. Daily, God, I thank you for the family you gave me. I thank you for the job you provide for me that I can, make a living. God, I thank you for my car that I'm able to get from point A to point B. God, I thank you for this AC that clicked on. I'm not even going to talk about the AC. I'll come back to something else. But we have to tell God, thank you consistently. We need to have a consistent thanks in our heart all day long. We just should. Romans 5:8 says, "But God demonstrates his own love for us while we were still sinners. Christ died for us." While we were still out there flim-flamming, living the life so we thought, doing everything we thought we wanted to do, going everywhere we wanted to go, being with whoever we wanted to be, talking however we want to talk, God he still demonstrated his love to us. He was still there for us. He would not take his hands off of us. We all can attest to being in some places, doing some things that we shouldn't have even came out of. I always go back to me and my girlfriend. I was at her house. I want to say, I think I was like I was out of school. I want to say maybe I was like 19 or 20. And she still does. She has really long locks. Her hair was always real curly, went down her back. And she was in this relationship with this guy. And when she finally broke up with him, he would come over to her house at night. And back then, we would sleep with our windows up. So her bed was right next to the window. And he would come over and he would slide her screen out and he would pull her hair. And she was like, you know what? I'm so sick of him coming over here. So, of course, she said, okay, let me first stop sleeping with my window up because it was so hot. They didn't have AC in their home. And she would have the fan and she would have the window up. She said, okay, I'm going to have to stop sleeping with my window up. But she went so far, I don't know where she got it from. She got a gun. And one night I was over to her home and she said, next time he come over here, I'm gonna shoot. And she was showing, she had the gun in her hand and she was showing what she was gonna do. And I was sitting right in front of her. Y'all, she thought, I don't know, she thought the gun wasn't loaded. The gun went off and she had it pointed, but it was pointed at me, but her hand, when it went off, it went above. It went into the wall above my head. Her mom lost it. Her mom was in another room and she was like, what is that noise? Who's shooting? Who's shooting? And she panicked. She was like, Mama, I don't know where that's coming from. Her mom heard, we all, but her mom was like, because she lived in kind of like a little rough neighborhood, so it was nothing to hear gunfire, here and there. But to hear it at such a close range, it really shook her mom. And she was like, oh, Mom, there's somebody outside. There's somebody outside. She almost lost it, okay? I think I was just in shock. I just sat there. But then, when I think about it, I'm like, oh, Lord, you spared my life. My mom could have got a phone call. My mom had already lost one child. So just imagine losing her baby. I'm the baby of the family. So just imagine that phone call. But God showed grace and mercy. He spared my life. That's why I have to tell it. I have to tell of the goodness of God. And like I said, at that age, I really didn't understand. I think I was just scared and shocked. And I drove home. It still hadn't really resonated with what had happened to me, until really some years later, because I just went on about my business like it never happened. But now that I'm older and wiser, I'm like, the enemy tried to take me out at a young age, but God spared my life. He had his hands on me. That's why I know I have a calling on my life. And I'm at a point where I'm just ready to surrender and give it to God. And some of you guys can relate to what I'm saying. You're like, ooh, D, I went through something similar. Ooh, God touched me. God kept me. He kept his hands on me. He didn't allow me to die. I'm still here for a reason. Y'all, that's why we can't leave God. We can't leave God. He has never left us, nor will he forsake us. We got to tell this thing. We got to let the world know God still reigns. He's still in the miracle working business. He is still in the miracle working business. And some days we get a little shaken, but we still remain with our faith. We get a little discord, we get a little off guard, but we get right back in, because when you start thinking about what you experienced, where you done been through, it's nothing but the hand of God. It is nothing but the hand of God. So don't be ashamed to let people know what God has done for you, where you have been, what you've gone through. He will let you know who to tell, when to tell it, how to tell it. You don't have to be out here YouTube spilling all your business. I'm not saying that. This right here, that story I just told, that needed to be told. God allowed me to tell this, But there are certain things, it's only meant for certain people. So that's what I'm just trying to say. Make sure you know when you're ready to, testify who you're testifying to. That's what I'm just saying. Pray about it. But yeah, God spared my life. So every chance I get, I'm going to get on this camera, press play, And I'm going to speak of the goodness of God. I'm going to speak on the goodness of God. And I'm not going to leave my post. I'm not going to leave my post, meaning I am not leaving God, because he has not left me, not one time. I'm going to close with this. Isaiah 41:10. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. God is about his business. He is about his business. Okay, guys, until next time, continue to grow and glow in the Lord.